Hello friends, myself Suryakant Rodge, Associate Professor, Department of Electronics, Adarsh Mahavidyalay, Damangaon Railway, District Amravati, Maharashtra.
Friends, today we are going to study optical detectors and numerical aperture. For processing the signals at the receiver end of fiber link, we require a device to convert light signals into electrical signals. This task is performed by photodetectors. Following are the various photodetectors used in optical communication system. First one is the photodiode, then PIN diode or pin diode, and phototransistor. Photodiode. About the principle of operation of photodiode, when diode is reverse bias, then current flowing through the diode is due to the minority charge carriers. If the junction of such diode is illuminated by a light, then reverse current through the diode is increased. This increase in the current is due to the increase in the minority charge carriers due to the illumination. If intensity of light falling on the junction is increased, the reverse current through the diode is increased. Hence, reverse current through diode is proportional to the intensity of light. Thus, this device can be used to convert optical energy into equivalent electrical signal. Following figure shows the electrical symbol of the diode, photodiode, and this figure shows the schematic view about the construction of the diode. So when this light falls on the junction, what happens? Minority charge carriers in this junction, in this depletion region increases, and this increases the reverse current of the photodiode. It is obtained by joining p-type semiconductor material suitably with the n-type semiconductor material. Two ohmic contacts are made at P and N regions, and terminals are taken out, which forms anode and cathode of photodiode. The complete unit is enclosed in a TO-type package with a window at the top, and in this window a lens is fitted to concentrate the light on the junction. See here, p-type semiconductor material is suitably joined with n-type material, and this complete unit is enclosed in a TO-type package with a window at the top, and in that window lens is fitted, and main purpose of this lens is to concentrate maximum light on the junction of the diode. Then about the operation. When light falls on the junction of photodiode, then electrons in the covalent bonds of crystal atoms absorb sufficient amount of energy from incident light and become free from the covalent bond. When covalent bonds are breaks down, then the minority charge carriers get generated in the depletion region, and this increase in the minority charge carriers increases the reverse current of photodiode. The magnitude of reverse current flowing through the photodiode is proportional to the intensity of light falling on its junction. See here, when this light falls, then electrons in the covalent bonds of the crystal atoms in this depletion region absorb sufficient amount of energy and become free from the covalent bond. And this escaping of the electrons from covalent bonds causes breaking of covalent bonds, and breaking of covalent bonds generates large number of minority charge carriers in the depletion region, and that increases the reverse current of photodiode. This figure shows the VI characteristics of photodiode, while this figure shows the illumination characteristics of the photodiode. So these illumination characteristics are plotted between intensity and the current flowing through the diode. If we increase the intensity of light falling on the diode, then reverse current of the diode increases, and that's why this characteristic is known as illumination characteristics, and these characteristics are known as the reverse voltage characteristics, because these characteristics are plotted between reverse voltage and reverse current. From both the characteristics, it is clear that reverse current flowing through the diode is proportional to the intensity of light falling on it. See here, see these characteristics. Here intensity is 1500 lux, therefore reverse current of photodiode is about 300 microampere. Here intensity of light is 900 lux, the reverse current flowing through photodiode is 200. Means if we increase the intensity of light, then reverse current flowing through the photodiode increases. The responsivity of photodiode can be expressed as R equals to eta 0 E lambda by SC, where N0 quantum efficiency, E electronic charge, and H is the Planck's constant. Now PIN diode. In case of PN junction diode, it is seen that frequency response is limited due to the junction capacitance. This diode capacitance can be reduced by the use of intrinsic semiconductor layer between P and N regions. The complete unit is enclosed in a TO type package with a window at the top, and in this window a lens is fitted to concentrate the light on the I layer or intrinsic layer. Electrons and hole pairs are generated when light is incident on the intrinsic region. The generated charge carriers now gives rise electronic current depending upon the intensity of light falling on the intrinsic layer. The type of semiconductor material and the energy of incident photons determines the penetration of incident light. This figure shows the constructional schematic view of PIN diode. So this I layer is introduced between P and N type, P type and N type semiconductor materials. Okay, when light falls on the intrinsic layer, then what happens? Electrons in the covalent bonds of crystal atoms in the I layer absorb sufficient amount of energy from light and escape from the covalent bond. So this escaping of electrons from covalent bonds causes breaking of covalent bond, and this breaking of covalent bond generates large number of minority charge carriers in I layer, and this increase in the minority charge carriers in I layer increases the reverse current of PIN diode. So this figure shows reverse current characteristics, and these characteristics are known as VI characteristics of PIN diode. These characteristics are plotted between reverse voltage and reverse current, and from this characteristic it is clear that reverse current of the diode is maximum for intensity 1500 lux, while it is less for 300 lux. Means reverse current is proportional to the intensity of light falling on the diode. Then phototransistor. About the principle of operation. We know that the collector current of transistor is given by IC equals to beta into IB plus 1 plus beta into ICBO. Since base terminal is absent in case of phototransistor, therefore IB equals 0, and therefore we can write above equation like this: IC equals to 1 plus beta into ICBO, where the quantity ICBO is a temperature dependent quantity. Hence, collector current of phototransistor is proportional to the intensity of light falling on its base region. Following figure shows the electrical symbol of the phototransistor, and this figure shows the schematic constructional view of phototransistor. Okay, this is a symbol of our general transistor, and symbol of the transistor with arrows is nothing but the symbol of phototransistor. About the operation. When light falls on the base region of phototransistor, then it generates minority charge carriers in base region of transistor. These minority charge carriers effectively provide the base current ICBO, because ICBO is a light dependent quantity. The intensity of light determines the value of ICBO. If the intensity of light falling on the base is high, then ICBO is high. This increase in ICBO increases the collector current of the transistor. Means, in other words, we can say that collector current of this transistor is proportional to the intensity of light falling on its base region, and that's why this transistor is known as phototransistor. This figure shows the characteristic of the phototransistor, and these characteristics are plotted between VCE and the collector current for different intensity levels. From these characteristics, it is clear that collector current is highest for 900 lux while it is less for 100 lux. Means, in other words, we can say that the collector current of this transistor is proportional to the intensity of light falling on its base region. Then numerical aperture. The numerical aperture of fiber is defined as the sign of largest angle an incident ray can have for total internal multiple reflection. The rays launch outside the angle specified by the fiber's Na will excite the radiation mode of fiber. A high core index with respect to the cladding means larger Na. The Na is a measure of light gathering ability or capacity of the fiber. It is also indicates how easy it is to couple the light into the fiber. So here the light launch outside this angle specified by fiber's Na will excite the radiation mode. If the angle of incident ray is greater than the angle specified by the numerical aperture, then that ray goes into the cladding and outside the optical fiber. That means ray do not undergo the total internal multiple reflection. So that is nothing but the radiation mode, excitation of the radiation mode of the optical fiber. म्हणजे सांगायचं तात्पर्य म्हणजे जर अँगल जो न्यूमरिकल ॲपर्चरनी स्पेसिफाय केलेला आहे त्याच्यापेक्षा जर अँगल जर जास्त असेल तर तो रे आतमध्ये इंटरनल मल्टिपल रिफ्लेक्शन करत नाही, तो फायबर ऑप्टिक्सच्या बाहेर निघतो आणि त्यालाच आपण म्हणतो दॅट एक्साइज दी radiation mode of the optical fiber. So this figure shows the idea about the numerical aperture of the optical fiber. So this is the maximum angle. This is the maximum angle made by the incident beam with the axis of the fiber. So in that case, this incident ray undergo the total internal multiple reflection. If the refractive index is high, then numerical aperture is high. Means, in other words, we can say that if the refractive index of fiber optics cable is very high as compared to the cladding, then that optical fiber has a large Na. This Na is given by sine of alpha, so that is equals to under root of n1 square minus n2 square. So this figure illustrates the idea about the numerical aperture. Thank you.